how we think is very important, right? And you've heard it from me, I've said it many times, and also many other people out there probably saying the same thing. But how do you apply it is very important, all right? It's easy to say, but if you don't know how to execute, practice those manifestation or what you think, it's not going to happen. So I will just give you a glimpse of what we're going to do on the day 2 of the awakening class. As I mentioned to you, it's going to be over 2 days, and on the second day will be more about technique of manifestation and how you can change reality, your future, right? Essentially, isn't it wonderful? So before you're able to do that, let's understand something first. It's about how much faith or how much belief that you have that that thing is going to happen. It's going to be like you can almost feel it, then it will happen. So let's look at the bad side of things. Now, I'm a golfer, I play golf, love the game, many of you do. Now, those of you who play golf, you will probably understand this with me. Sometimes when we are in a position where the ball is placed in front of the ball is the pond, right? So we have to get across the pond. And negative things starts playing, especially the beginner. And it will be like, oh, I think my ball is going to enter the pond, right? And well, the degree will vary from player to player. Some will think definitely it's going to enter, all right? Another person may think 50-50. So there is a 50-50 chance. Another person who is a lower handicap player may, no worries, I'm going to hit it across. It's going to land on the other side of the fairway. Okay, so it depends on what you think. But if you think poorly and you're full of fear and you're actually like, definitely my ball is going to enter the pond, and guess what? When you hit the ball, it's definitely going to enter. So this is just to show your fear, which manifests into reality. Okay, and it happened quite instantly because your fear is 100%. You're 100% sure it's going to enter, it will enter. And sometimes in life, it's a little bit like this. We are so fearful of so many things out there. What if this happens? What if this doesn't happen? And and the fear is overwhelming. It's like you can feel it 100%, right? And a lot of us, well, unfortunately, it gives rise to anxiety and hypertension and all those other illnesses that we don't want, right? So giving this opposite truth about negative emotion, negative feelings, which is like 100%, it's going to happen. So that gives you some kind of an understanding that if you are fearful and you're 100% sure that it's going to happen, or you're afraid 100% sure that it's going to happen, it's going to happen. What about the opposite? Let's say you want to manifest something amazing, to happen to your life. Well, there are a few key steps, and these are things that we need to understand. Essentially, as I've mentioned to the class, earlier, we project our reality, right? Our reality is the projection of our consciousness. So what we believe forms the consciousness, it will be. In other words, that is the reality that is going to happen. So for us to be able to do that, let's understand one thing. It's not going to happen immediately. All right? There's a bit of time delay, in terms of our manifestation. And that's only because we live in a three-dimensional world. So there is this, matter that is dense, and therefore it's not fluid, which is wave, okay? Goes back to the same thing. That's why it's going to take a little bit of time. To demonstrate that, if I ask you to close your eyes and visualize that you are maybe drawing a painting, well, you can do it like almost instantaneously. You close your eyes and you visualize, and the painting is done, isn't it? So it's so fluid, it's so easy. But if your eyes are open and I give you this, place to paint, and you start doing it, it's going to take pretty long time, isn't it? So this goes to show that when your mind is fluid, it can materialize very quickly. But because we are still in this so-called reality, right? Some people actually believe that we're actually living in a matrix. Well, come to that in one of the classes. So in this 3D reality that we live in, it's going to take a little bit of time. So whatever you go deep inside of you, manifesting those changes, you have to, first of all, get an image. what do you want to change to be? So maybe in 6 months time, 2 years time, 1 year's time, I don't know, right? So you manifest and visualize the picture of what you will be, okay? And then get some feeling around it. So when this happens, how are you going to feel? How is it going to be? How is your interaction within yourself and the world at that time? So you are actually tricking your mind that it has already happened. And you keep doing that. You keep doing that every day until it happens. I repeat, you keep doing that every day until it happens. Don't stop. Okay? Because whatever we think, so even if we think poorly, and yeah, this is where we are now, right? We're not happy about it, isn't it? So it takes some time, but it's because of the accumulation of bad thoughts in our mind, and therefore we are who we think we are, right? So if we start changing the thoughts into good thoughts, it's going to take some time, but it's going to happen. But imagine if, let's say, you start doing that every day, and your determination, perseverance is not quite there, and then you sort of give up. All right, so you've done it for like maybe more than a month or whatever, and then you decide to stop it. And then as you stop it, wow, whatever you manifested in the last month or couple of months, it is now becoming a reality. But that reality is short-lived, because after that, hard work of going through the belief system, thinking and everything for a couple of months, let's say, you have sort of gone down into poor thinking after that. So that reality happened, but it only will happen for a short period of time because due to your poor thinking. So that's why you have to change the way you think, and you have to carry it through until it happens. Okay, so I hope this is very clear. Well, again, when you start to practice it, and then when it starts to happen to you, then of course your belief level will be up a notch, and it will be so different, right? So now I'm just telling you, I'm like virtually like it's a theory to you, and you're like, oh, okay, like you're still not too sure. But then again, you give it a go and you try it, and then when you see changes, grab onto it. Well, that is like what you're practicing, and what you've heard from me is becoming a reality. It does work. All right. So the other thing is, when we think, don't think like, oh, I hate my job, or I hate doing this and that. So those are very negative thoughts, because when you think, I hate my job, then the universe is like a mirror, right? It's like a mirroring and a reflection of what you think. So if you say, I hate my job, the universe will throw back at you all those things that is bad and why you should hate your job, right? So if you, I don't like this, I don't like that, then the universe will again reflect and throw back at you what you don't like, and it just keeps going that way. But if you are someone who is thinking very positively, and you like, okay, something good is happening, yes, I have something good happening to me right now, my boss or my wife or my are saying good things to me, yes, and I want to get something better. So you start thinking your thoughts in a positive about what you have rather than what you don't have, because if you start thinking poorly of what you don't have, then the don't haves and all the negative things will, it's like a mirror, it will come back to you. But if you start thinking of what I have and what I want to have more, so that kind of positivity, the manifestation will become a reality in a different way. All right, so it's a lot of about mindset, practice, belief, and when you really 100% believe in this manifestation, it will truly change your life. All right, so you can apply that into many aspects of your life, from relationship to financial to health to everything. It will become a reality. So I look forward to going through the awakening meditation and going through it with you in the class, because that is the time that you will start seeing and feeling and experiencing. And then after that, I'll be able to show you what you should do every day so that you can basically change the reality that we live in.